Donkey Kong was created by Shigeru Miyamoto and dates all the way back to 1981, where he took arcades by storm with his first damsel in distress video game. The arcade version of Donkey Kong is still played by video gamers today and even spawned a documentary about one man's mission to achieve the highest score in the game. While the documentary became more about lying, cheating, and deceit than about the joys of the original Donkey Kong game, it did bring the game back in the spotlight and rekindle its popularity. However, this version of the game would not stand the test of time. It would actually be a new design of the game released for the Super Nintendo in 1994, and it would carry the series into the modern age of gaming. The video game company Rare was owned and operated by brothers Tim and Chris Stamper, who had already developed multiple games for the Nintendo Entertainment System. They would use their Silicon Graphics supercomputer known as the Challenge Computer to experiment on creating a boxing video game. They would only get as far as the initial development when senior Nintendo staff members visited the Rare studios and was shown a demo of the game. They were so impressed, they sent Genyo Takeda to inform and advise the then president Hiroshi Yamauchi about securing a deal with Rare. After much deliberation, Nintendo would settle on acquiring 49% of Rare, and Nintendo would have them produce new titles using the Silicon Graphics technology. The brothers who owned Rare expressed interest in making a new Donkey Kong video game, and was able to get Nintendo on board with the new idea. Rare got to work on a new video game with a team of around 20 people, and would eventually have a playable version of the game. Upon Nintendo's first review of the game, they felt the game was way too difficult and directed Rare to lessen the difficulty so it would appeal to a broader audience. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong's movements were developed based on real gorillas from the Ty Cross Zoo in England. The only problem with this was the gorillas' movements were very unsuitable for a fast-paced video game, so their animations instead were loosely based on the galloping of horses. Even though the Silicon Graphics workstations were new and top of the line, it would still take all night to render a single 3D model. While the intention was to redesign the model of Donkey Kong Jr., Nintendo felt the new design was too far from Donkey Kong Jr.'s original appearance, and instead requested Rare to rename it. Initially they chose the name Dinky Kong, but they would end up on Diddy Kong after receiving some legal advice. Donkey Kong Country would be the first console video game to use pre-rendered 3D graphics, leading to a very high quality 3D animation. Rare took a financial risk because each of the computers required to create the graphics would cost the company around $100,000 each. Rare would even go as far as to create a new compression technique called Advanced Computer Modeling, or just ACM, which allowed for more detail and animation for each sprite. With a $3.76 billion US marketing budget, Nintendo of America would use an online promotion campaign through the internet service CompuServe, which involved downloadable video samples of Donkey Kong Country, a trivia contest, an hour-long online chat conference, and a 15-minute VHS tape titled Donkey Kong Country Exposed, which was sent to Nintendo Power magazine subscribers. The composer for the game, David Wise, originally started as a freelance musician and was asked to compose 3 jungle demo tunes that would later become DK Jungle Swing. David Wise stated, "I guess someone thought the music was suitable as they offered me a full-time position at Rare." Wise has cited multiple works for his influences such as Koji Kondo's music for the Mario and Zelda games, Time and Geoff Foland's music for the video game Plock, 80s film soundtracks that use a synthesizer, and 90s rock and dance music. Even though Donkey Kong creator Shigeru Miyamoto wasn't involved, he did make some last minute suggestions, such as the hand slap move, which was included in the final version of the game. When the game released in November 1994, it was met with instant success and would go on to sell over 500,000 copies in its first month. The graphics were highly praised and even won GamePro's Best Graphic Achievement Award at the 1994 Consumer Electronics Show. Even with high praise from reviewers, Donkey Kong creator Shigeru Miyamoto would criticize the game by saying, "Donkey Kong Country proves that players will put up with mediocre gameplay as long as the art is good." Miyamoto would later walk back those comments and said he had a fondness for the game and had communicated with the Stamper brothers almost daily during development. To finish this off, here are some quick facts for your enjoyment. The game would eventually sell a total of 9 million copies. The game is known as Super Donkey Kong in Japan. It would also be the first game to be rated by the Entertainment Software Rating Board, receiving the rating KA for kids to adults. And Cranky Kong is meant to be the original Donkey Kong from the arcade game. Thanks for joining me on a brief history of Donkey Kong Country. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you next time. Rod here with Zivivi Entertainment. Before I get out of here, make sure to check out Digital Break for some awesome content creators. Digital Break is a 1-hour block on local TV that premiered in April. They are taking talented YouTube creators and airing their content on local TV. So make sure to follow and like their Facebook page. Thanks everyone, I'm out.